Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to our 10th Annual Vision Awards. My name is Peter Bell, and I have the honor and pleasure of serving as President and CEO of NH&RA. We're a little bit time-pressed this evening because there's another event going on across town that's honoring somebody who many of us in this room are big fans of, who was actually the original recipient of this award when we first started presenting it 10 years ago, and that's Kate Racer from the Massachusetts Department of Housing and Community Development, who is certainly somebody we've all worked with and have great admiration for. Well, it's my pleasure to welcome you all here this evening. As Tom Amder said in his opening remarks this morning, Boston is kind of a second home to National Housing and Rehabilitation Association. We've always had a very strong participation by Boston-based companies, and in fact, NH&RA's birth happened in 1971, emerging from kind of a little bit of an incident, a fluke that took place here in Boston. What happened was then HUD Secretary Carla Hills, I guess this was probably in '70, was up here viewing projects that were being done under the Boston Urban Rehab Program, otherwise known as the BURP program. In fact, we have in our archives a funny article from Business Week from back then with the headline, "Burp and Make Money," that explained how HUD was beginning to look to the private sector to deliver affordable housing. Well, Secretary Hills referred to the program as a HUD program, and it turned out it was, of course, a Boston City program, and she started getting hounded by some of the reporters afterwards. Well, what HUD program is this being done under? And rather than own up to her gaffe, Carl Duquesne, who was with Continental Wingate in those days, took her aside and said, "Madam Secretary, you don't have to apologize, just create a national program." And that was the birth of Project Rehab under the 236 program, which was the forerunner to many of what programs we work with today. And NH&RA was formed as a way for HUD to have a way to meet with the several firms that were chosen to be the developers in that program. That was 1971. I first came on board in 1976. My first board meeting for NH&RA, I had 14 people there. 10 were from Boston, 2 were from New York City, 1 each from Chicago and Columbus. So we have always had a very strong orientation towards Boston. Over the years, the community of affordable housing professionals here has continually been the most active base of support for our activities, providing leadership not only for our association, but more importantly, thought leadership for the industry across the nation as a whole. 10 years ago, the NH&RA Board of Directors decided to celebrate that leadership and initiated these Vision Awards. These awards are to honor individuals whose vision, foresight, and perseverance has made a significant contribution to affordable housing both here in Massachusetts and all across the nation. The list of individuals who have received this award, and you can see that list in your program books on page 1, is quite impressive, as certainly are our honorees this evening.